so they fought a revolution, the American Revolution. Oh, we the people here.
Hi, my name's Diane. You're currently watching the Just Kidding Around show. Thank you so much for joining us. This week we are going to be working without an oven. But we're going to be cooking, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm anxious to hear more about that. But first, before we get started, I want to introduce Ava Waits. She's a local. You live in Olympia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is Ava, and she owns a business. She's a nutritional...
I'm a nutritional counselor.
Nutritional counselor. And could we start, Ava, by saying hello to some people out there in Thurston County?
Yeah, definitely. I'm up just by the Capitol building, so this is really great to be speaking to all of you. And thank you so much, Diane.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I'm going to say hi to all the students at Lydia Hawk and hi to the kids at South Bay. And hi, Mr. Feeney. And hi to all those raw foodists out there.
Yeah, welcome. And I mean, really the vegan community, the vegetarian community. And I really want to say thank you to all the co-op shoppers too, the Olympia Food Co-op.
And one more thing, David Wolf, if you're in town, hi.
David Wolf, we're very inspired by you, so please talk to us after the show.
So Ava, I'm so excited. You've brought some, I don't even know what those are.
Okay.
You brought those with you, though. Thank you for bringing them.
So I don't know. They're really small, but they're Hunza raisins.
Oh.
So these are grown in the Himalayas, and they're just little white raisins.
Wow.
Organic. Really.
Well, where are most raisins?
A lot of them are from California that we get around here.
But we can get. Why would we want a raisin from?
You know, the thing that I like about these raisins is that they're sun dried. So they're dried in the sun, where kind of a lot of the regular raisins are maybe dried in a machine. So they're dried at really high temperatures. So you end up losing some of the nutrients.
Okay, and there are different brands of these probably, because we can't
Right.
advertise. So there's different brands
Right.
of this. What is it one more time?
The Hunza is the region that it's from. So yeah.
I see. So they're sun dried, sort of like you can buy sun dried tomatoes.
right,
You can buy
like sun-dried tomatoes.
sun-dried raisins. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what are you representing here? I mean,
Well, since we ran into each other at that raw food class a couple weeks ago, I really wanted to put together it's a real simple meal where nothing is cooked. So everything is made. I mean, I just have this really simple Cuisinart blender right here, and so
that's pretty simple.
I know, right? Like one outlet was all it took.
Yeah.
And then I have all these fresh nuts, the fresh berries, the spices, and then of course, the apples.
Okay.
So
and it doesn't have to be Cuisinart. There's so many different brands.
Oh
of
my
little
gosh.
Mixers.
Yeah.
Just
Just anything portable.
Yeah, most people have some kind of little mixer like that at home. All right, and a lot of people, when they hear the word raw food, they think raw meat or something
like
really
sushi.
radical. But it's not. It's just uncooked fruits and vegetables, right?
Right.
And nuts and seeds.
So so the raw food that I really wanted to bring to you tonight is really, it's plant-based for the most part. Some people do choose to eat sushi, so raw fish. But really why you do it is that you preserve more of the nutrients from the food, and because you're not cooking it, that means that more enzymes are available to you also, which means that they go to work keeping our skin healthy, keeping our hair shiny, and this is also a recipe that can just be made in about 5 minutes.
Okay, so it's quick.
It's quick. Yeah.
And we don't need electricity.
No,
and we get
not normally.
Live enzymes. And is it true that there's more vitamins and minerals in food that's uncooked?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, like this apple here, if we were making an applesauce with this and cooking this apple down, we'd lose almost all of the vitamin C in the apple.
Oh, isn't that something?
And we'd lose, in a lot of these products, we'd lose about 50% of the protein content. And, we're all looking for protein. We usually have an abundance of it in our diet. But if we can preserve that protein by not cooking it, then that's great.
Cooking kills all vitamin C, all enzymes. And most of the protein.
About half of the protein, and a lot of other vitamins and minerals. It really takes them way down, so it does destroy other vitamins and minerals.
All right, and then before we start cooking, I want to ask you a couple more things. I want to ask you if you eat mainly raw, and how long you've been doing that.
Sure. Okay. Well, so I am not completely a raw food eater. I'm what I'd like to call a raw food enthusiast.
Okay.
So for me, I love to, if it's something like a bell pepper where it doesn't really need to be cooked for me to eat it, then, I think, well, why waste the nutrients? Why cook it?
Yeah.
I'm just going to chop it up, eat it raw, even if that means I've just made a stir fry and then I toss the bell pepper raw on top.
Okay.
And so I'd say that maybe about 70% of my diet is raw.
Okay.
So uncooked plant food. I eat a little bit of fish. I love sushi. I love to cook fish occasionally and other other seafoods and things like that. But I'm not completely raw. I just really love it.
I have known other raw foodists, and they almost get religious about it, and they almost feel guilty.
Right.
And so I kind of hate to ask how much are, because, it's not like there's some kind of a religion or something out there about, but the more we can incorporate, the more everybody knows, the more fruits and vegetables, the healthier we are, but the more uncooked we're even more healthy, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
And I really try to not make people feel guilty about the food choices that they make, because since we live in this sometimes cold Olympia, Washington climate, I mean, it can be really hard to try to live off of salads or to try to live just off of raw foods. And so I do think that people do need to pay attention to that. And if they're cold and if they want something that's a lot heavier, like beans or meat, they can get really good organic meats, organic grass-fed meat, nice beans, and make soups and warming foods.
And then how long have you been eating this way?
I started, really moving into kind of vegetarianism, except for fish, when I was about 10 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So I know it's been a while.
Long time.
So,
you have gorgeous skin.
Thank you. Thank you.
You probably can't see it out in TV now, but her skin is gorgeous. There's no makeup. Do you wear makeup?
Just like a little bit. If I'm tired, I'll do a little bit of eyeliner because I
but
feel
you
like
don't
it
do
wakes
anything
me
on
up.
your skin because probably
not really.
in TV line you might not be able to see this, but her skin just glows, and that is one of the benefits of raw foodists. And this man that we held up, David Wolf. He's a big, somebody's getting a close-up of your skin, those stinkers. Look at that. And this man, David Wolf, he's one of the big names in raw food. There's several, and we saw him. You've seen him before, but I saw him for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and oh my gosh, he just radiates. And that's one of the benefits of eating, being well hydrated, and that's another thing when you eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. They have a lot of water and kind of hydrates you a little bit.
Right. You can tell actually. Say if you're steaming or you're sautéing something, all of that steam going up, that's all the water from the vegetable that you're cooking,
and the nutrition.
Right, and the nutrition is disappearing. So, so you do preserve a lot of the water. And I'm big on water.
You're a big drinker.
I know. I have got my cup of water right here. I'm a huge water drinker, especially in the morning. It's really nice to just hydrate your body. It helps move your digestive tract in the morning.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. Can we go back? I want to say something too about when you were talking about the steam coming up when you're steaming. When I was a kid, they used to say that you should water your plants. I don't know if you've heard this. With the leftover water from your steamed vegetables because it was so nutritious. Well, then why aren't people eating that water? Why are they giving it to their plants? It's nice. Had you ever heard that before?
Yes.
To water your plants with that.
Yeah. And you know what you can do too is you can make a soup out of it. So, like if you steam vegetables and then you want to make something that is warm afterwards, you can use that that leftover water from the steamed veggies.
Didn't know
and
that.
you can just use it as a soup base.
Well, I'm so excited about this show.
I know,
think
right?
I'm going to be learning a lot. So let me tell you, if you did not eat raw, would your skin be all? Do you think?
I think the biggest reason that I feel so well right now actually is because I don't eat some of the foods that I'm allergic and sensitive to.
Okay.
And I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a way that everyone is going to be eating because we're all so unique, but for me, I decided to stop eating wheat and gluten.
Are you gluten?
I'm gluten-free.
Okay. Gluten-free.
And I also decided to stop eating cow's dairy because I kept getting a sore throat and kept getting sick after I was eating cow's dairy. So I really feel like it was actually those things that me giving up those foods that weren't working for me.
Oh, so it might,
that
yeah,
helped.
sometimes it's not what you add, it's what you take away in anybody's diet. So, but if you eat raw, you're automatically eating gluten-free, right?
Yeah, actually. I mean,
okay, because there's no gluten in
right.
fruits and vegetables.
Right,
It's
we're not
only
eating
in
wheat.
flour, right? Is that right? Okay. Only in flour.
flour, you know, wheat, barley, rye,
Oh, you
spelt.
can't eat any of those things. Okay, well,
I know,
I
it
will
sounds
be
like a lot.
quiet, and maybe you can tell me what
Yeah.
you brought here. It looks good.
Yeah, so I have my ingredients about, what, 6 ingredients here. So you know, the apple, I always try to get organic if possible. And then I have the walnuts. These almonds here were sprouted, so they were soaked in water just overnight so they could sprout. And then they were dehydrated again, so that means that they can store on a shelf. And
Okay.
it's nice to do that because that means that we're waking up the nut and we're actually making the protein and the nutrients more available.
So
in
are
that
you
nut.
telling me that a sprouted nut or seed is more nutritional than an unsprouted one?
Right.
Even if they're raw?
Right, yes.
So may I touch this? If you were to buy an almond in the store and it wasn't treated, does that mean it's automatically raw?
If it's not treated, you mean like pesticides?
Yeah, like
Is that what
this
you're talking
isn't
about?
salted.
Right, that's
This
not salted.
isn't hickory smoked.
Right, it's not hickory smoked,
It's
no.
not whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
And look for the labels when you're wanting to buy the almonds that say raw.
Raw.
You need it. Raw, organic would be
Yeah,
the best
no
way to
extra
go.
trouble.
Right. Right,
Okay.
exactly. So, so what I did, because I wanted to save you from the, you know, the blending sounds, is I did chop up some of the ingredients earlier. But so this is all you'll need to do. It's really simple. So, all you'll need to do is go ahead and chop up your apple. And I like to chop in kind of small sections so it's easy to blend up. And then, depending on your taste, you might want it a little bit sweet. So in that case, I would add, you know, probably a little handful of raisins to it. Then I would add about a handful of the almonds, a handful of the walnuts. And you just really simply put everything in your little blender. I have some ground cloves. So just for a little bit of flavor, you just add a little dash of the cloves. And I'm such a fan of cinnamon, so I also want to add a little bit of cinnamon, kind of like applesauce, except that you've got the nuts in there, and the nuts are really going to help keep you full when you're putting together this breakfast cereal.
Oh, so it's a breakfast cereal.
Right, this could be a snack, or this is something that's going to have the consistency of oatmeal or a porridge.
Oh.
But you've got the apple in there, you've got the raw nuts to keep you satisfied.
So it doesn't turn out to be like a trail mix.
Right,
Because
right.
the apple makes
The apple's going to make it,
Oh.
you know, kind of mushy. So let me blend up one more
Okay.
time. And you can keep it chunky if you want. You know, it doesn't even have to be completely blended. If you're looking for more of an applesauce consistency, you could keep blending it over and over again. But you can see right now that we've kind of got,
Looks like oatmeal.
you know, we've got kind of this, yeah, doesn't that look like oatmeal?
Mhm, but it's pure nutrition. Could you
Right.
put oatmeal in there?
You could actually. I mean, what you could do is you could blend this, and then maybe if you had oatmeal that you had cooked, perhaps just a little bit of oatmeal that's cooked. Once that oatmeal cools down a little bit, so it's kind of lukewarm, you could actually add it to this.
So you can mix cooked and raw food. It doesn't have to be
can.
100%.
You can.
Okay.
The only thing to, to be cautious of there is that if you want to preserve all of the nutrients in this raw food, that you need to make sure that it's not in close contact with other really hot food.
Oh, interesting.
So if your oatmeal was really hot and it touches this, that means that it is getting rid of some of the nutrients from this.
I love that little blender, but you know, because people get intimidated by, oh, I can't do raw, I don't have all the appliances. But you know, if you go to like Goodwill or Value Village or all these places, Salvation Army, they invariably have some of these appliances, big or small.
But
for a single person, yeah.
Right. And you know, I have so many clients who are, they are just living by themselves, or you know, it's just one person at a time. And this is, I mean, look at, we just made just a one-person meal right here. It took no time. You get to, you know, top it with these wonderful raisins, and then you've got this bowl that does, it does kind of look like an oatmeal that you'd be aiming for, but you know what? It's going to have so much more flavor. I can promise you that.
Really? Well, I'm going to taste it later.
She
But
gets
I
to
want
try.
my crew to be able to taste it too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I want them eating healthy.
Yeah, let's get
No
the
more
crew to
fried
eat really
chicken.
healthy. Yeah.
Wow. So now, what is your favorite? Is this one of your favorite things to have for breakfast? Would you say?
You know, I always change what I have for breakfast. Recently, I've actually been doing a lot of the green smoothies for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
And the simplest green smoothie that I make, and again, I just blend it up in here.
You don't use
Well, I'm gonna get a new blender.
Okay.
I'm in need of a new blender right now, but for
Okay.
now this is working. But I've been doing kale, mango, and a little piece of lemon.
And you buy mango just out there in the.
Yeah, I've just
And is
been
that
buying
pretty good?
organic
Kale,
mango.
What about water?
Oh, it's so good. A little bit of water
bit of
too if
water.
it needs some help kind of blending up. And that has been so
Really good.
I've loved that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you are what you eat.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not so sure I believe this anymore, but there used to be I hate to say a public speaker, but a man that believed, he used to always preach, we are the sum total of the choices we've made. And you know, as years have gone by, I hate to be that rigid because really a lot of us are blessed and by grace where, you know, but I do think that the choices we make add up. And you know, a lot of people that eat a lot of fried foods, it does take its toll sometimes.
Yeah.
And we don't realize it might not show, but maybe our little arteries are getting packed with fat.
Right.
And, you know, plus this gives you more energy. Plus, wouldn't you lose weight if you ate this way?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. You know, I really feel that people put on weight when they're eating processed food. So processed and the fried food, like the fried chicken you were talking about.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, this has none of that. And, this is definitely a weight loss.
So if you want nice skin, shiny hair, you want to lose weight, you want to have energy,
Oh, energy.
you know?
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
remember, you are
definitely.
what you eat.
Yeah,
But
that
the
is so
problem
true.
is too that people get in a hurry, and it's so hard. You know, there's single moms, and you know, there's people living alone, and it's hard for them because they think I don't want to mess up the kitchen or buy a lot of stuff for
Right.
one person. But then there's the opposite of that too. You've got a family, maybe a single mom, and she's working hard, and she doesn't want to come home and cook. So, are there simple ways for them too?
Yeah, there definitely are. You know, it's all about making things in really big batches, I find would help in a situation like that. If you can really, you know, prep all your vegetables maybe on one day of the week, on a Sunday, so you've got things kind of in the refrigerator and you're ready for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I find that helps.
You know, I saw something on television today. It was like either the doctors or Dr. Oz. I think it was Dr. Oz. And they were talking about vegetables that are minus calories.
Oh.
And they listed a whole bunch of them
celery.
that literally take more calories to eat.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was kind of funny. I thought, boy, I wonder if there's some, you know,
Right. And
recipes with those.
there are definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I try not to count calories too much with people because I think that, you know, that kind of puts them in kind of a math headset, and I'd really rather that they get connected to their body and what their body needs.
Okay.
And so for this, you know, I don't really worry about the calorie count because really, honestly, this is, yeah, there are nuts in it, but it's pretty low calorie overall. And once you get all that energy, you're gonna have that energy going for a couple hours.
Anyway.
Yeah. You're gonna want to go outside, garden, take a walk.
Yeah. So this would have protein from the nuts.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Protein.
What else?
Well, gosh, it would have the vitamin C from the apples, and then all of. If you're talking about, I'm thinking of the foods that are go backwards in calories, like celery. You know, celery is really great because it has silica in it, which is actually great for hair, teeth, and bones. And so we've got all these foods where, yeah, they are low calorie, but they have these little nutrients in them that are actually really great.
Does he say, well, Hippocrates said, does David Wolfe say this, like your food be thy medicine?
Oh, Hippocrates?
Hippocrates said that. What did I say? Hippocrates. I'm sorry. Sorry. He was such a hypocrite, you know. Hippocrates said, didn't he say that? Who said that?
I think that is important.
But doesn't he repeat that a lot too?
He talks about that too, actually.
Yeah.
It's mostly the wild foods are really medicinal, and that's something that I was trained in, actually, is how to identify wild foods. And you can add wild foods really easily into these types of recipes, especially into green smoothies.
That sounds like a whole different television show.
I know, right? I know, we should be outside together.
Oh, that'd be fun. Maybe sometime we can go outside and pick dandelions or whatever.
Wow.
Well, I want to
dandelions are nice.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And if you have questions, her websites, isn't your website on the end of this?
Yeah, it's Parisian Picnics.
Okay. Following these credits, or they could put it up now. So they could go to your website and learn more. There's a lot of events that go on, free events. And
Yep, and I have a lot of videos on the internet as well, YouTube videos.
Yeah, we should upload this.
I know.
Let's put this on YouTube.
I know, we should.
But does a person have to be all raw to contact you, or could they just be curious?
Oh, no. You don't have to be all raw. I really want to maintain an unbiased judgment against any sort of, any way that a person eats, because I think it's important that there's no guilt. I don't want there to be any guilt around your food choices. If you're interested in learning about this, that's great, but, it's equally important to know how to have safe meat. And where to find your meat and be able to source really high quality foods like that.
I've got to tell you, I've seen raw foodists that just glow and vibrate.
They do,
but I've seen other raw foodists that don't look quite that healthy. So, maybe some people need, cook food more than others. But David Wolfe, it's like, whoa, the whole room pulsates when he's in. Well, thank you so much, Ava, for coming.
Diane.
Ava Waits. And thank you, Jerry Julian. He's running camera one. And thanks to
thank
Bruce
you to all the crew.
Thanks to Bruce Tanney from Scotland. And thanks to Jim Elder. And in our control room, we have Tom Dubuque. Thank you.
Thank you,
bye, Mr. Feeney.
We've the right to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. Our founding fathers crossed the seas and built the new world colonies, but King George wouldn't set them free, so they fought a revolution, the American Revolution. Oh, we the people here decree, we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created equally in America, and we're going to live here happily in America. The English army came in boats, it was buckskin versus bright red coats. Then the Yankees won the war and wrote our country's constitution, the United States Constitution. Oh, we the people here decree, we've the right to life and liberty. We're all created Through the passing years, the pioneers crossed the frontier without rest. Oh, the land was new when this country grew from the east coast to the west.